and do this, in theory, this should maybe monkey, I figured it out. So okay, we're gonna put that. Do this. Right. Copy the invitation. We go into that. I don't know if I can make a comment here. All right. Okay, so we are streaming live. I got to get out of that other recording. I have invited some people to join us here shortly. So I'm going to pause that there. We are again still live. Bear with us as we get through this, and I believe there's a way for us to clip this, so hopefully we can, for those of you that are tuning in later on, you don't have to go through this sound check with us. Go to my video settings real quick. Well, for some reason it's not. Hey, Jimmy Bayo. Hello. All right, if this is your first time joining us, you'll have to excuse Jake. He's got to get this out of his system before he gets started.
Have you already started the show?
Yeah, we're live.
You can stop the video and restart, so we're both on here. You can probably stop recording and then restart, since we're both on here at the beginning.
Nah.
I'm glad that you lead things this week and I lead things next week.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be doing.
Yep.
So what I was going to say to you is that we're live on YouTube.
Oh, all right.
Through Zoom.
Well, hello, YouTube.
Yay. So no one knows we're out. Okay. Again, I am sharing this link, but this is not an insurance podcast. So don't expect it. I mean, you're going to hear some things about insurance, but
you're going to hear some things.
Oh, you're going to hear some things. All right. So I'm curious how it's looking on the live side, like what the video looks like. Because right now, let me see if I can play this. I'm watching us live.
How do we look? How do we look? I'd really like to know. How do we look? Don't talk like a hoe.
Nobody knows.
Somebody knows. I guarantee it. Somebody knows.
I think I just figured out a setting, so I'm going to watch the live video here for for just a second. So oh, this is like I've got a mirror. I've got too much, Stephanie.
I mean, I don't know that I'm on. No, that's an old one. Well, I don't know how to find the YouTube link.
Oh, there. Yay. It worked.
What did?
Okay. I'm going to get out of that because I changed my speaker view to gallery view. And that allowed from now on, we're streaming this way. It's side by side.
All right.
Just the way it should be. Okay. So this is Diamond Belcher presents, whatever, however you want to say it, episode 3, season 1, episode 2-3. We see, I think I understand okay, we had our first episode was called the pilot.
And
That's
there's no
kind of
video to it. So
right.
It's not like anybody can find it.
They can, because I linked it to I linked the podcast. It did create a podcast because now I've got a podcast through a site that I signed up for.
I keep getting emails from Podbean.
That's it, Podbean. So, the audio saved with that Zoom call, but it was just me talking. You could just see. Actually, you couldn't hear you in the video, so that didn't make any sense. But we don't know where this is going to go. So you got to just keep up. We're going to keep this interesting. If you really want to hear what we have to say, you're going to have to follow.
Let's move on with the show.
Okay. First, just a quick shout out to our sponsor, Diamond Chick Consulting. She's the chick with the plan. If you are out in the Ackworth area tomorrow, the 25th of January, that's Thursday night from, I believe it's 4 to 6, 4 to 8. I didn't put out all the details. I'll put it in the show description, but there's a business expo at the Ackworth Community Center. So check out the links we're going to put in the description. And if it's free admission. There's going to be a bunch of vendors out there. I think they've got either like between 30 and 40 vendors. So I know a lot of people on the list. I'm looking forward to being there. We'll go over this part later. Jake will not be joining us tomorrow evening for the sponsor event.
I'll be home sneak eating.
We'll tell you a little. He's going to get rotor-rootered. We'll tell you a little bit
I'm going to
about
get throto-rootered.
Well, we'll figure that part out later. All right. So, Jake, what are we celebrating? So much to celebrate in the world. What are we celebrating this week?
Well, I think it's good to try to plan ahead so people can get ready to have them on those days. So this week I've taken a new approach, though we're a little bit later in the week than we normally would have been.
Okay.
I want to be able to plan ahead for next week so people can know what they're going to, so they can, if it's like National Chocolate Day, you want to be able to have chocolate that day. You don't want to find out that yesterday was chocolate day. You want to get yourself ahead of the day. So Monday, we have National Rompicabeza Day. Do you know what that is?
Shoot. I feel like you just told me this. Puzzle.
I feel like I told you Rompicabeza about 20. You're right. That is Spanish for puzzle. It is National Puzzle Day.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I need my door closed, so I got to get off the screen for a second.
Okay.
But National Puzzle Day is next Monday?
Next Monday.
Whoa.
So we like doing puzzles. We do quite a bit of puzzles. We have a puzzle wall that is all full of puzzles that we have done of kitties, and there's not almost always a puzzle going on, but oftentimes there's a puzzle going on. To show you what our puzzle wall looks like.
Show the wall.
All puzzles have been put on the wall, and then my lady, who makes everything shiny, decided to put all those orange lights up around it. So she made that look nice.
Quick sidebar to that story. I strung all those lights. It was a really long strand of lights that we found at a cool bin sale, and I got it all. I was able to get everything framed, and it all worked out just perfect. And I went to go plug it in, and silence. There was nothing, no light, no nothing. And this was right before Christmas. Christmas came and went. We had a great time. The house was lit like no one else's. And I was getting ready to take everything down and I did one last like, all right, we'll see if this works. And lo and behold, the damn thing lit up and it was beautiful. And I'm so excited because it'll be up all year long. Yay.
Yeah, we're like the Griswolds, but year-round indoors. So like we have a lot of lights going
We're
on.
classy.
Tuesday we have a vacation that we should. We have a holiday that we should try to get involved with. It is National Plan a Vacation Day.
Oh,
You guys are
well, we've got quite a few things to be celebrating, maybe going on vacation for. Yeah.
That's true. Wednesday, we have something that I hope to appreciate someday. I know you're not there yet either, but I bet some of our viewers out there will be. It is Appreciate Your Social Security Check Day.
Huh.
So
Social
again,
Security check.
we don't get to celebrate that now, but someday in the future we're going to celebrate when that first one comes in the mail. That's going to be a great feeling the first time that free mailbox money shows up.
Well, do you know that in order to qualify for Medicare, original Medicare, you have to have at least 10 years of pay-in to that Social Security and Medicare?
Whoa! Wow,
Yeah,
you probably just taught somebody something right now.
tidbit right there. So anyway, continue
Uh,
on.
Thursday brings us National Optimist Day. What are you optimistic about at the moment?
Everything. I'm so
You are
excited about that day.
you are a very optimistic person. That's true. I'm a little more on the pesticide.
Uh, yeah, I like to say we balance each other out, which is true because, yeah, we do. Go ahead.
Friday, we have a couple things going on. We have a Groundhog Day.
Seriously? That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Friday
That's
will bring
February
Groundhog Day.
1st. No,
No, that'll be I think like the second by then.
the 2nd. That's right. February 1st is a Monday or a Thursday. Very cool. Are we going to watch the movie?
Probably not. I watch it every year on Groundhog Day, so it's like the same thing over and over again.
But I
It's
bet you'll
also
learn something
Working
different.
Naked Day next Friday. So like
Next Friday's Working Naked Day?
Working Naked Day.
Whoa, that could really alter your Groundhog Day.
I mean, you don't want to celebrate Working Naked Day at the Groundhog Day event. That's probably not very good.
Probably not. But if you're streaming
Yeah.
in the comfort of your own home.
Well, since next week will be a little bit earlier in the week, I think if we go according to schedule, we'll look at some of the monthly holidays, the things that we celebrate like month long. One of my very favorite month long holidays is coming up in March. It's National Frozen Food Month. Everything frozen food goes on sale. It's like one of the best times to shop for the year. So I would love to have a deep freeze by March so we can take advantage of all that cheap frozen meat.
My only concern with the deep freeze is that it would blow everything in this house.
I don't think it turns on like high. I think it's a low, take it slow all the time.
And are there different size deep freezes? I wonder if you could get like a mini.
No, every deep freeze is the exact same size. There's no variation at all in deep freezes. Hey, Annika, don't call me a liar. I'm saying that there's no differences in deep freezes, so no.
All right. Duly noted.
All right. Okay. That's the holidays I've got to think about right now.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, next segment that we're rolling into is the sort of the connect the dots
La 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 la.
Connect the dots
La la la
section.
la.
Eventually, we're going to have some signs and things.
I'm trying to steal from the old Pee-wee Adventure, Pee-wee's Adventure, the Pee-wee Herman show, where you go connect the dots, la 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 la. So if you just say connect the dots,
yeah, we're definitely gonna have to change that. I'm not sure that's
not
sure that's on brand.
When you say connect the dots, I'm gonna la 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 la.
I know. So we're gonna do something different. By the way, can you see dots on the wall behind me? Hold on a second. Maybe they kind of come and go. I got a lot of light. Oh, there they come. Do you see them kind of appear?
Not really. Yeah.
All right. There's some. I got some cool lighting going on in this office. We'll have to do something at night and show where it goes, what everything looks like. So anyway, this is the time of the podcast or whatever this is that we talk about some relevant connections out there in the world. I had some amazing meetings and conversations with some people that I wanted to kind of showcase and spotlight. I'd love to tag these people at the end of this so that if you feel that their services would be helpful to you, you can talk to them about it. You can link up with them. So first is I had a fantastic conversation with a gentleman named. Well, hello. Why are we doing that?
I, I was just letting people know that we're in the same place.
Oh, okay. Now you know. All right. So anyway, Bob Hill is with. I know him through BNI, which is obviously one of the hats that I wear. He is one of the directors and works with a lot of the chapters that are in South Georgia. So I have a different connection with him outside of BNI. And that being said, there's so many things he and I could sit and talk for hours and hours and hours if we could. We were limited to 1 hour, but we had really good conversations about, well, really about BNI and how it is. I don't know. It occurred to me that I knew I was an emotional buyer, but I'm also an emotional seller. And I'm an emotional coach. I'm an emotional leader. I've learned how to kind of navigate through some of those emotions so they don't, have me making the wrong decision. However, um, there is a lot to be learned as far as relationships is one of the core values of BNI. And that's one of the things that it's not just relationships on how to get along with people, but also how to not get along with people because we're not all going to get along, right?
What?
Appreciate that.
I don't think we'll always get along. No, no, no.
No, I mean, there are people that have you ever gone into a room and you don't know this person from anyone and they just for some reason it just doesn't click. There's something that you can't put your finger on it, but it's like, there's just something not
Yeah.
okay. I mean, and I think it's okay to have that happen to you. Like it's okay that someone doesn't like me. I don't like everybody. So, right? I don't know. I'm coming to terms with all my boundaries and all my things. So I'm finally learning all the lessons. I'm a stubborn person in some ways. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah. You're real stuff.
All right. Well, anyway, Bob Hill is he's a great mentor he's a very seasoned BNIer. He's been in there for decades, I believe. I believe probably over 20 years. But if you're interested in learning about BNI, you just want to kind of talk to someone about what BNI is. I know it's kind of every person you talk to, you're going to get a different take. Um, and but the common thread is it's givers gain platform. So there's a lot of positive, obviously very optimistic attitudes and practices put into place. So next person that I met with was a gentleman named Farrell Middleton, and he is with Bell Curve of Life. And what he does is basically works with companies who are ready to move on to that next level and kind of build their teams. It works a lot with trades, a lot of construction companies that are managing different teams. Maybe, maybe someone like myself who's trying to build a team, but I think he has got a more like bigger team hierarchy, all that kind of stuff. But he comes in there and helps. Like, so have you ever worked for an organization that's tested like your personality, like your work personality, like a Myers-Briggs or a DISC or anything like that?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so he would be the guy that came in after that to say, all right, this is what all this means. and this is how you navigate through that to work together. So if you learn how people are different and what kind of learners or workers or work process, when you learn who you're working with, you generally work better. I mean, I don't know if that's just like common sense, right? So he's got this is his second, what's the word? Second career. I don't, he's been in the construction industry for years and years and years. So he retired from that and got into this because he saw a huge need for it. Because a lot of companies were going under because of mismanagement, because they didn't understand why they couldn't keep people. They weren't understanding how the personalities work together. So he does give complimentary, at least right now, for a limited time, I'm sure, evaluations, and it's like a 30 or 90-minute conversation with a business owner to kind of understand where they're going, what they want, what their goals are, all that kind of stuff. So I am taking him up on that offer. So I'm scheduling that probably when we get off the call here, because I was supposed to do that yesterday and did not go through my email to do that. But I would like to put his link in the description below as well, so that if you are a business owner and you're looking to grow, or maybe you've already grown and you're getting ready to really, really grow, and you really need some of that kind of that team building support, let Farrell know. Have him come in and just have that conversation. I think you'll appreciate knowing him. Yeah, a culture. He helps cultivate or helps create that culture in your organization. And then Malika Daniels is with Women Who Want to Manage Money. And Jake doesn't know this, but I just signed up for her services. So she is where he hates it when I do this, but this is definitely something that I need help with. And it's not earning money. It's when the money comes in, what do I do with it? Like, I don't know. I've got when you've been commission based for so long, sometimes that anxiety you get, like, it's kind of I guess like in the depression era, people saved and they got real nervous when it's time to spend. And you've seen me in stores before. I get so freaked out when we have to go shopping, right? Because the having to compare the things and do all it's not a pretty relationship, me and money, and I've got a hole in my pocket. So she works with women who are kind of in my boat that are doing well. We just need help, kind of. Not She's not selling a product. She's not putting you in investment program. She's not doing any of that. It's therapy for your finances, I think, is the best way. I'm thinking that's the route, and I'm looking forward to working with her. But she's a new member of our chapter, and I've really enjoyed talking to her the few times I have, and look forward to that process. So that starts in the first or second week of February. We have a date set. So isn't that exciting?
Hooray!
Well, I think we both know that, and we both could use some help. And I mean, we all could use some help, a little accountability when it comes to finances. Because we're not like, we're in good shape. I just need to, it's kind of like my struggle with food. I need to get a grip on my struggle with having some money in my pocket and it not burn a hole right through.
All right. Grand Ho.
Surprise, surprise. We should try to find that little clip and put that in there. All right.
Well, I'll add something I want to say about connects and dots and stuff. So like, there's things in this town and the area that we live in. Like we are in the Kennesaw area, Marietta, Kennesaw, that type of jazz. And I went out and I did some stand-up comedy last week at Johnny McCracken's Crack 'em Up Comedy, and it was hosted by Mellow Black. He did a real nice job keeping things together. He also has another show coming up here on the 24th. He's got Finish the Story. It's got him hosting this show. This is going to be the 25th at 8 p.m. at the Alley Stage. It has the guy that went before me, Keegan Ray, who we both thought was pretty funny. and a
Yeah.
couple of other people who were there that night as well. So go out and check out Mellow Black and Keegan Ray and a bunch of other local to our area comics on the 25th at 8 p.m. at the Alley Stage at 11 Anderson Street, Marietta, Georgia. So check that.
What's the zip code on that?
30044.
Trying to think of where in Marietta that might be, but okay, that's good to know. I'm sorry we won't be able to make it. We'll talk a little bit more about why we won't be able to make it a little bit later, but that sounds like a lot of fun. Is that something? Do you know if they do that every? Is
I
it
don't know.
a
It's the first time I've seen a flyer for this show. So if we didn't have another thing going on, I'd be checking it out. But again, finish the
finish the
story.
story? So kind of an improv kind of thing.
I mean, I can't really say that I know, and I don't want to put out a false expectation for what
Yeah.
they got going on. But it seems like it's something to go check out.
Let's talk a little bit about that stand up. That was a very fun experience. And we went to McCracken's there in Marietta Square on Monday for open mic for stand ups, and you were the lucky number 13,
In the line about
aka
13, but in
16.
reality, yeah, I think I went about 15 or 16. But that's okay. Sometimes they got drop-ins, people that they got to get up.
Well, I will say that there were some very interesting bits that were
You go to an
there were
open mic,
some
you never really know what you're going to get. There are some people who I thought were playing characters, but then you look close and you're like, no, no, that's really who they are. I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's happening.
Yeah, we there was definitely some and there was some the lady there was one lady we're referring to specifically. She was
I
I
hadn't
don't
been
know.
until this point, but all right.
Oh, sorry. Well, there was a lady that was there and looked like she had a lot of stuff planned, but I could tell that she was nervous. She looked nervous or sounded nervous. When you can't catch your breath when you're in front of people.
About
That's
the most nervous stand-up comic that I've seen that was
never
able
seen
to
anything like
talk. I've seen other people who are more nervous, but they can't talk. This lady couldn't stop. I mean, she just,
it.
oh man, the things she was confessing to and saying, and just going through all of her medication and her mental
Oh,
history, and like it was wild.
I'd
But
love
in
to
her
see.
defense, it was only her second time ever doing stand-up comedy. So I bet she's probably gone up a third time by now and smoothed it all out. And she's going to be headlining the improv real soon.
Yep. Well, let's hope. She seemed like she was on a mission. She had a challenge she was working towards. So I wish her all the best. I think that's and we'll stop winking on that. All right. So but yeah, will you do that again? Are you looking forward to going back to that, or have you looked
Yeah,
at
I'll go
some other?
back to that. Man. It was
Yeah.
fun. I'll do a couple of things differently than I did last time. Like, you know, I don't like to get off onto like different racial things because like it's a very sensitive area and stuff like that. But there are some that just don't cook things to really taste all that good. And that Irish food was just terrible. I mean,
Oh, really?
you did not like your mash your roast beef your hash and what would you have? You had
It was corned
corned
beef
beef
hash.
hash.
Yeah, it wasn't
It was,
my. It was,
you
yeah,
didn't like
it
it.
wasn't what I expected.
And the chili wasn't what I expected. It was like there was some weird ingredient I've never had in chili before. I mean, they were really proud there was no beans, so I can get behind that. But it was
Okay,
like
so
there was
I
chopped
think
okra. No, I don't even know what it was. Like nuts. Like somebody crunched up some nuts and threw them in there.
I think that you had it could have been like a fennel. I don't know. There was some sort of a herb or a spice or something
Does
that was
fennel look big and thick, and you have to chew through it, and it feels like
it
it's?
can, yeah, fennel
I mean,
seeds.
maybe it's fennel seeds that are in there because it felt like
And it
somebody had some popcorn that they hadn't popped yet, and they threw it into a blender, and then they just threw that in
yeah,
there. It
which
was
by the way,
unpleasant.
if you ever do put fennel seeds, I think that in coriander, like the in its whole form, and put it in like one of those little mini spinners, it will scratch the hell out of all of your stuff. So don't do that.
Now I know, so I
I
won't
learned
do
that.
that.
Yep, don't do that. So, well, okay, the food, but the beer was great. I had a really good chocolate porter that was yummy.
I barely finished mine. I was not. I did not like my Sierra Nevada Bigfoot. Like
Well, it was not your
it was not
style.
for me. That's
It was
okay.
it
Like
was a it was a
I
little bit
shouldn't have touched
darker.
drink anything at all. That's one of the things that's a real drag about doing comedy. Like it costs money to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh. Like I think they should pay you $1. I think they should give you. They're big a big deal about how they give you free water, but they could give you like 20% off if you perform or something like
You know what they
something.
should do in order to keep people there? Because if you keep people there, they're
Yeah, we're
gonna
not going to stay there
spend money.
next time. We're gonna sign up, leave, and come back.
Or if you're the bar owner and you're wanting people to stay so that they purchase, have people when they sign up, they put in like $2 or $3 or whatever, and at the end there's a drawing, and whoever's there, if their name is drawn, they win. But because I think that by the time I don't know how many people were on that list. Did you see the end of the
Yeah,
list?
yeah. It was like 30 people deep. I mean, we weren't even halfway through the list by the
Oh
time we
man,
had to get out of there. I mean,
I am
at
so
that point, you're looking over at me. You're like,
I'm
you were
packing
ready to
up.
go. You were ready to go.
I had everything ready to go. Well, I enjoyed being there, and I'm glad that we were able to go. Um, and I think we saw some very interesting talent. It was very entertaining. I was more entertained last night than I've been before. So anyway, all right. Quick sponsor break. Um, this episode of Diamond Belcher, whatever, is brought to you by Diamond Chick Consulting. If you are self insured and you are needing help purchasing your health insurance, call the chick with a plan. She is a broker and can help you shop in all markets and help you find the right plan for you and your current lifestyle. You can schedule an appointment by visiting www.diamondchickconsulting.com, and she looks forward to hearing from you. By the way, that chick is me. I'm Stephanie Diamond, and I do look forward to hearing from you. And if you do have your insurance already put in place, and you're not really sure what your coverage really looks like, and you just kind of want to have a second set of eyes on it, give me a call. I enjoy looking at that. I won't spend a lot of time, but I do enjoy seeing the other things that are out there. It allows me to be a better broker. So thank you so much. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Jake, what do we have next?
I think next on the list we had MJ Adventures.
So
Do you know
let's
where MJ
talk
is
about
at?
MJ.
Do you know where MJ is at?
She's right here behind the door. She's
Well,
behind the door. So MJ has got there's some sort of a force outside of our house that is creating. Uh-oh, it's one time. It's happening right here.
okay, so you can talk about MJ while we just show some video of her playing with the lawn.
Well, there it is. Um, I think I have, you know what? This would be a great opportunity while you're doing that. All right, so Jake, anything you'd like to hold on a second? Let's see. Where do I keep all this stuff? Videos. No.
You're a little star. You're on the show finally. You
She's on the
finally made it on the
show.
show. For the third edition of MJ Adventures, you finally made it on.
All right. Well, she's going for those 10,000 views. Well,
All right. To me, that was enough. MJ Adventures.
okay.
That
Thank you,
seems like
Jake.
that seems like a reasonable amount of MJ Adventures.
All right. Very good.
Let's
Okay.
get into how I'm down to 44 hours away from losing my anal virginity.
Oh boy. So why don't you tell everybody what's happening?
All right. So I used to be with Cigna, and I had a consultation set up for the 29th where I was going to get to go in and learn about my colonoscopy and figure out what I need to do to make it happen and everything. And then we found out that, oh no, my recommendation wasn't in network. So we had to dial everything back and had a great health insurance person, Stephanie Diamond at Diamond Chick Consulting, who was able to help steer me to like the right direction to figure out what I needed to do. I ended up with an appointment ahead of where my previous um, appointment was at, and a colonoscopy scheduled before my original even consultation was scheduled to be. So I think I learned a couple of things. Like even though I wasn't all that impressed with Oscar at first because like they didn't have the people I want, I thought, oh man, that means these people must suck. I think that I may be better off being out of the Cigna thing because it seems like it takes a long time for their appointments to be set. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe there's less people on Oscar and it just takes like there's not as much time where you have to wait as long because it was like 2 months wait for everything that I wanted to do when I signed up for my stuff on Cigna. But now that I'm on Oscar, I was like, hey man, could you come in today? Today, can you come in? I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to go in today. The last thing I want to do is go get something like shoved up my butt because I didn't. I mean, I am a gold star. Never had anything up my butt. Maybe I bet I have. I bet when I was a little kid and there was like some type of um,
I don't think
heat
that counts.
temperature where they needed to be taken. Since I've been a little kid, there's been nothing, put up my butt. So like, I am really not looking forward to this, or am I? What if I become addicted to it? What if I find out that it feels really nice? And I've always vowed that I was never going to do anything on my butt until I was 50. So I have about 50 days left in my 40s, and what if I now find out that I love things up my butt and this is the longest 50 days of my life, having to wait until I was 50 so I didn't lie to myself about playing with my butt for sexual pleasure?
Wow. So there we are
All that.
in a nutshell.
All right. You had on here your cleanse.
Real quick, I know that
Yep.
I forgot to delete that. Look, let's go back to your colonoscopy situation. Just to clarify, it's not because you have different insurance that allowed you to get uh, your appointment sooner.
Are you
It's
sure?
because the provider that is in network accepts that insurance. And that particular provider is accepting new patients. And that's a big thing. If you are looking to schedule an appointment with, if you are new to scheduling appointments, if you're someone that hasn't seen a doctor in years and years and years, go onto your insurance portal and go to providers and go, there's a filter that shows who's accepting new patients. And I'm going to say that everything happens for a reason because we couldn't get in touch with that darn office to find out where the previous one, to find out if they even were a network. We couldn't get anybody on the phone. So
I got a call in the middle of this meeting right now from that.
stop.
I'm not kidding.
Stop.
I'm not kidding.
All
From that
right. Well,
doctor's office.
that's a, we're not going to name any names, but I will say that's definitely a red flag when you're trying to find a healthcare provider, is that they will at least answer your call within the 24 hours. This has been almost 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, and they need to know
um,
that I can't be there. So
but back to your cleanse. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you'll be doing nothing but
Oh no,
clear
please.
fluids and all that. And then, but
So it
lollipops,
says 24 hours beforehand. Can I wake up really early and eat something?
you, I guess you can, but you never do. So I don't know why you would. So
Yeah,
don't
you're
make it
right.
complicated because
I don't usually like
I
to
would
cheat.
hate to have to do it all over again.
Yeah, you're right. The
So
list of things I
anyway,
get to eat or ingest is not that impressive. Jello, which I'm, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't like it.
have you tried it recently?
Everything I've had recently has always been like sugar-free Jello, and that stuff is ass. Maybe I should try
We get
some
the
real
real
Jello.
Jello. We can
Like
get some real Jello.
try some real Jello and see how it goes. If it's all I'm allowed to eat, it may taste delicious.
Well, you can also have like Pedialyte. The biggest thing is to make sure that
Girl,
you're hydrated, because at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, you will be ingesting a little something bottle of something that is going to
Clenpick,
start the floodgates.
sodium picosulfate, magnesium oxide, and antherius citric acid oral solution. It's catching on. People love
Yeah.
it. I'm
Uh-huh.
going
Yeah.
out to all the hip places and ladies like lately like, yo man, give me some of that Clenpick.
Well, so that starts the process. And I don't know if you read your sheet, but oh my goodness, we got a whole bunch of
I'm doing
make
my
sure
best
you're
not to
drinking a
read
whole
it.
bunch of water.
I'm doing my best not to read it.
So, well, and
They're gonna knock me
unfortunately,
out, right? Like I'm not gonna have to sit there and like make eye contact with the dude as he stuffs the thing up my butt, right?
you're not when you wake up tomorrow and we get you to the place, they're going to get you all outfitted and knock you out. You're not going to know what happened. And I,
You know, I thought they fucked me in the ass, but I just got a thing where it's gonna cost $169.
what?
It's gonna cost $169.
Is that what it said? Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Um,
that's, you know why?
because that's
Because,
pretty cheap for a colonoscopy, though, right?
well, it is. Um, yes. So I think that $169 is a small price to pay for some answers that hopefully will come from this. But they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're doing upper GI. They're doing an ultrasound. They're doing the colon. I mean, they're doing a full workup on you. So I think this
I
is
think
going
the
to be really
ultrasound's different, but yeah.
well. But there, all these things have been ordered in your for you, and we've got a provider that is that listened to some of the things that you talked about, and he didn't give us a lot of feedback, but I think it's because he didn't know what we're working with yet. So I look forward
And I don't think he
to.
was stoned. We're not talking about his name or anything on this. So we can say we didn't say where we're going. But he came across as like a stoner to me, like
Or stoner friendly.
possibly.
Well, I think that um, I think this is going to be a rough 24 hours for you, but you're going to do fine. You've been through worse. I can't imagine it's any worse than the things you've had to go through. I
Yeah, you're
really
right.
can't.
I go all the time without eating for 24 hours. I think like very recently I went 90 hours without eating anything.
The hardest, oh God, honey, the hardest part is that you're not going to feel bad. Hopefully, you're going to feel good and have to go through this. It's when you're feeling bad. No, you don't even think about it. It's going to be on your mind all day.
I may just drink
You're
some
screwed,
NyQuil and sleep all day.
huh?
I may just drink some NyQuil and sleep all day. Imagine how refreshed I could be 24
Well,
hours later if all I've done
hey,
is shit and sleep.
the thing is, you definitely have to make sure that you are drinking a lot of stuff because you don't want to get dehydrated because you are going to get super, super important. All right.
If I could be like my ex and drink in my sleep, then that'd be fine. But I don't think that's gonna work. Never mind.
Okay.
Did you have any health updates for this week?
Well, I think that we might have determined what my breakout is from. I think I'm so super allergic to poison ivy or poison oak, and I'm getting it from the fire we're burning in our fireplace, and I have a feeling I don't know. I have a dermatology appointment in a couple weeks, and we'll see what they say. But it's not been as bad since we haven't had a fire in a few days. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I don't want to know that because to purchase wood, it's so expensive. But if it sends me into anaphylactic shock, I should probably be good about it. All right. So on that note, another quick last sponsor break of Diamond Chick Consulting. Check your insurance and see if your insurance includes prevention or doctor visits or anything like that, because I believe that you'd be surprised. Oh, MJ, you'd be surprised how much or how less a prevention appointment costs in order to keep you kind of healthy and keep things at bay. So, hey, MJ, she's the monkey. She's the monkey junior, which is what MJ stands for, by the way. All right. Litter box. What's some shit you want to talk about? Oh, okay. There's a
I didn't turn it all the way to the camera. I just showed you almost what MJ needs to use in the litter box.
do
Okay,
you
I do have some stuff I'd like to talk about this week.
let's
I'll
do
make.
it.
I'll make. I have too many things to talk about. So like they're all entertainment or like world related things. So like I'll get to them really quick. Okay. One, Netflix just signed their first deal for like live sports, and they signed it with the WWE. They just signed a $5 billion deal to air one type of WWE's show. $5 billion. That's crazy. Like
What kind of show is that?
it's their wrestling show called
Oh, it's
Raw.
a rest. So Netflix purchased a one-time event.
No, it's a 10-year contract to
Oh,
broadcast their show, but it's only one of like 4 or 5 different shows that WWE produces. They're still on Fox, they're still on USA, they're still on another streaming service, but now they're getting $5 billion from Netflix. It's the biggest overpay that I can't believe
oh,
that they think that that's worth $5 billion.
oh. So
Um,
they're not exclusive. They're getting $5 billion and they're not
yeah,
exclusive to
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, that is wild. Number two, we have one of my favorite musicians is returning to the scene on the first. We have the first new song in 17 years from Billy Joel.
Stop. Have you heard it?
No, no one has. Like, he's keeping it under tight wraps until the first. This track is called "Turn the Lights Back On," and it's his first new song in 17 years, which was a song called "All My Life," and that was 17 years ago. But these are his first 2 new songs in 31 years. He's only released one other song in the last 31 years, and that's a pretty long break to wait for someone to come back and see if they're still good. Like, well, what do you think the chances are the song's actually going to be good?
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of his later stuff. He got a little loosey goosey with the rhyming, and I don't know. It just didn't. It wasn't as beboppy, not beboppy. I don't know. It didn't have the same feeling, or I don't. It just seemed phoned in.
I liked his last album, River of Dreams. Like, one of my very favorite songs, Lullaby, that he wrote is
Yeah,
well,
that's a good song.
that's the last track off of his that album, and
But
I
Billy
thought,
Joel's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2. Oh, I know every song on that album.
I mean, they are definitely classics. There's no doubt.
Well, I
The
look forward to
first,
hearing. I look forward to hearing what he's got.
yeah, me
I wish
too.
him well. I'm a big Billy Joel fan.
Speaking of things returning, we have a couple of new movies coming out. We have Kenya Barris, who's the creator of Blackish. He's decided that it's time for some that the classic versions are too white of a couple of famous movies, so it's time for black versions of them. They're coming out with a black version of uh, the Wizard of Oz, which has already fucking been done. I mean, they did the Wiz. I mean, so like, and that was done in like the 70s or something. So this guy's like trying to make a big deal about how about it's time to finally do
Oh,
like a
well,
black version of the Wiz when it was done almost 50 fucking years ago by. It's not like it was done by nobodies. It's Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, and I mean it's a cavalcade of stars. And now that this guy who created a subpar television show, Blackish is not a good show. He's got his hands
oh,
on doing the Wizard of Oz, and as long as he doesn't call it the Wiz 2 or something, I guess that'll be fine. But he's also decided that It's a Wonderful Life was too white, so it's time to do like the black version of It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, it,
so here's my beef. Here's my
pardon?
beef.
Yeah,
I just think that we need to stop remaking things and
yeah.
trying to recreate that same story with different people. Make it a different story. I mean, there's got to be a different story that y'all can tell,
You
that
can be
anybody can tell.
inspired by. You can be inspired by It's a Wonderful Life, but don't come out with It's a Wonderful Life and then just be
Well,
like,
but just there's got to be other experiences out there that we can hear about. We don't need to keep hearing the same story over and over. Tell us something new. Let's learn something different. And if it's a cultural thing, let's learn something different from your culture. I don't know.
It just
I
seems like it's an offensive message to say that those things are too white. And then it's offensive to people's
agree.
legacy who's already redone these things. If you don't think that someone has used the basic story of like, it would be better off if I wasn't here in other movies. I mean, this movie's been redone multiple times too. Like he tried to say there's a modernization, then he was called out on it. Then he just said, okay, it has to be black. But they did a modern version of this a few years ago with Nicolas Cage, and they did one a few years before that with um, I don't remember at the moment, but they've done so many remakes of that movie. To say that you need to do another one just to make it black is ridiculous. Okay, now these two things are going to wrap up together. So we have the first votes cast this week in the elections for president, which they
What?
happened in New Hampshire
Oh,
yesterday. So we had a caucus last week, but this is the first time that people got to put votes down for who they want to have as president. I think that they're going to try to do everything they can to try to influence the younger voters. And my proof came into a story that came up since we were originally supposed to air today. They announced today that Jon Stewart is back as host of the Daily Show.
what?
Can you believe that Jon Stewart's back as host of the Daily Show? They are just trying to, get the liberal side put into like the younger viewers, and that's one of the few places that they still go and watch. So they've announced that once a week, only on Mondays, they're bringing back Jon Stewart as host of the Daily Show. I think that's incredibly insulting to the person who is now the host of the Daily Show. We're like, nah, dude, you get out of here on Mondays. Like you can buzz off,
I
pal.
got this.
And it's going to be much higher ratings when Jon Stewart's there than whenever I don't even remember what the guy's name is. I can see him in my head, but I don't remember his
Oh,
name.
that's not good either.
So
Well,
that's all stuff in my litter box.
wow.
Man.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And, we are in a political year, whoa, highly charged political year. So we're going to try to keep this a very political neutral. But I do encourage you to make sure you're making informed decisions and that you're actually putting your actions support your words. Get out there and vote, do your stuff, get involved, and also educate yourself. So, um, let's see, was there anything else?
That's really all I got for the litter box.
All right. Well, we are about to wrap up here. But before we say adios, um, I'd love to know what your paw print was for this past week since we've last talked.
Well, it's supposed to be when you do something good. I didn't get to do the thing I really wanted to do that was good. So this lady melted down so terribly during stand-up comedy on Tuesday, on Monday night. I wanted to go and donate my time to her so she had a chance to do it again. But then, like, I didn't get a chance to do it because she left like three comics before I was gonna go up there. But really, like half the time, I was just sitting there thinking, man, it's gonna feel real nice to give that lady another chance because like that doesn't get to happen at comedy shows. And the real funny thing that I couldn't be any funnier than watching that lady melt down. I mean,
Well,
especially,
okay, so I'm not sure that's a positive.
but it was giving her another chance.
It- because you felt
I wanted to. Look,
called to help this lady, or
I just thought it would be nice for her to
I
get like
think we
a
might
take
have to
two.
redefine what a positive paw print is.
Okay, fine. I'll think next week about something nice that I did for.
There you go. There you go. Well, my little positive experience thing to share is that there were a couple dogs at the shelter that really were having difficulty eating. They were very picky of not necessarily, or not only what they were eating, but how they were eating. Sometimes eating out of these metal bowls can be very sensitive. It can drive some sensitivity issues and trigger those. So um, I was able to come up with a couple little solutions and got two of our pickiest and stingiest eaters to eat every last bite. So no one goes hungry around here. But anyway, that made me feel good because if you're not feeding yourself and taking care of yourself, you're not going to get better. But that's going to be my little shout out to Mostly Mutts. If you are in the Ackworth, Kennesaw, Marietta area, and you are in the market for some opportunity to volunteer, or if you're in the market to go to a market to work at a market and help uh, process some donations and get our store intact, we've got opportunities there. But if anything Mostly Mutts, visit the website mostlymutts.org. All right, Monkey. I think that's all that I've got. How about you? Anything else?
I mean, I have some personal fun news, not personal fun news, but some news that happened again around town that I'm excited about that hopefully will give us another place to go sing some karaoke.
Oh
So, like,
yeah. What you got?
the Atlanta karaoke scene is something that we're into. And one of the best things around here was called Meddlesome. They were the live band karaoke that was going on at the Dark Horse down in the Highlands. What's that place called? Virginia Highlands?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they fired the band a little while back, and the band went off and did their own thing. And I just saw that they brought in a new live karaoke band down there where they have the same host going on that they did before. So English Nick from 94.7,
Nice.
97.1, 94 point, the river here in
97.1.
97.1 The River. He's like the daytime host, and he's a very good karaoke host. He gets up there and he sings along with you, and it's really good. So, if you like doing live band karaoke, like I do, I like all karaoke. Head on out again now to the Dark Horse at down in the Virginia Highlands and check out the new live band karaoke with English Nick.
Awesome. I can't wait. That's a really fun little special occasion kind of place to go and do that.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was a real silly choice of them to get rid of their karaoke, but then they just brought it back with a different band. And honestly, it really gives you credit who the band is behind you. It's like I wasn't like in love with one of those guitarists or something, so it's just like I'll go with a new band. I'll go with the scab band, whatever they're called.
you're not going to refuse to sing because it's not the original guitarist.
Nope, nope. I'm coming back and I'll spike my hair up and I'll put on a sleeveless shirt and I'll go out there and I'll do my best to wee.
That's what I love. All right, Monkey. Well, thank you for being here today and for participating once again. And thank you to those of you who are checking this show out. I hope you learned something. If there's anything you want to share, please share in the comments. Again, I think we might have actually figured out a way to do this. This might be our preferred method. We are doing this through my YouTube channel, whatever that is, and we'll try to figure out how to get that out there so you can follow along in our crazy little world here. So, all right. Until next time, peace out.
Bye.
Bye.